Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind. It's our RPI dissection video. Yeah, that's right. Dane Stewart, Tim Haslam here. We're going to talk to you about the RPI for both boys and girls on today's edition of KSL Sports Rewind. Tim, let's move to 6A boys because talking a little bit about on the girls side, let's talk on the boys side. And you look at the 6A RPI. This might make some people uncomfortable, Tim. Number 5, Mountain Ridge. Number 4, Bingham. Number 3, Sky Ridge, which is surprising to me a little bit. Number 2, Corner Canyon. That's right. Corner Canyon is not number 1. That is awarded to Farmington here on April 13th. Tim, this top 5 in 6A, again, it's just math. There's no controversy to this. But, man, this feels a little different than maybe what we would have expected a month or so ago. Does it not?
Yeah, it does. Farmington lost to Corner Canyon. So, again, it doesn't look at head to head. But, the mark there for Corner is they have 2 losses. And so same number of wins, both have 7. Corner with a slightly better opponent winning percentage. So, you look at Farmington's schedule, they got to play Weber again. They do play Judge in Park City. But if they come out of those unscathed, then yeah, they are the number 1 team in 6A. And so we'll see what happens there. I don't think maybe the order is a little bit surprising. Sky Ridge is so high because they've won 10 games. They've played 11, and so just the 1 loss and so I think that they'll kind of stay. If you look, I actually have a chart on UtahLaxReport.com. If you go to the resources tab, I kind of map out the different RPIs and those 3 are at the top. Right. And then there's this giant gap for the next 4 to 8 teams. And that, again, it's like the girls' side, like who's going to be that 4th team in 6A? It's Bingham now, fine. But, the Mountain Ridge is wanting that. Westlake, Weber just got their faceoff guy back, Lance Keller. He's not the Lance Keller from Northridge. There's 2 Lance Kellers who face off. But he, in his first 2 games back, he went 17 of 18 from the faceoff X. The Farmington game didn't have stats for him, but Farmington only won 4 faceoffs in that game. So he and the others the rest. And so, I surely expect Weber to continue to win. Again, they do have to play Farmington again. So, that game I think will be one to circle and will obviously have an impact on the RPI. And then, you've got Riverton, who you've seen a couple times now, and they're a couple plays away from putting some nice wins together. And so that 4 to 8 spot, I just similar to the girls, it's going to be really competitive, and a couple of them play each other, and it's going to be exciting.
You talk about Riverton, Tim, and early in the season we were talking. You said, who's maybe that 5th best team in 5A and 6A? You said it might be Riverton. What do you like about this Riverton team?
They actually beat Weber earlier in the season, and that's kind of what I was judging that off of. They did play Farmington and played them tough for 2-3 quarters. I think it's just for them. It's putting together a full game. It's getting everyone involved. They have a great defense, but can the offense consistently perform for 4 quarters? I think that if they can figure that out, then they'll make some noise.
We talk about Mountain Ridge, and we always talk about JT Rigby. He's the state's leading goal scorer through games today. I think he's got 48 goals, been on an unreal tear for a team that's played 11 games. But I was talking with a coach, and he said Farmington, boy, they have a ton of offense. Tim, this Farmington team. Tell us about some of the offense for the Phoenix this year and what's helped them to be number 1 here as we've started region play.
Yeah, it starts with Kai Binen. He's just big. He's, more or less as tall as I am, and just is a great dodger. Can get through guys. A stick check isn't going to stop him. Then you look at like Wyatt Salmon, who is shorter in stature. Not, that's why him and Kai play so well together. Is they're kind of opposites. Wyatt's really shifty, really quick, able to feed really well. That's why he's one of the top guys in assists in the state. And then they just have a bunch of good role players. Josh Rashaw is good for 3 or 4 goals a game. Cole Smith's good for a couple of goals a game. And so you start stacking those together, and pretty soon you're scoring 15, 20 goals a game. And, they just get on a roll. And that's how they're good. That's why their offense is so good, And then their defense is great too. They play a 2-goalie system. Both their goalies are pretty good. Their defense is a great defense. And so you have all those pieces, and it's no wonder you're number 1.
Tim, you gave us a couple teams outside of the top five, Riverton, Weber. You mentioned Westlake as well. We saw them earlier this year. I'm going to put you on the hot seat here. The last couple of years, Region 1, they've been right there, had opportunities to win a state championship. They've come up just short. Is this the year where Farmington maybe gets that trophy headed up north for Region 1?
Yeah, I think so. If it's not this year, this year is as good as ever, right? Corner Canyon isn't who they have been. That doesn't mean they're not still great, because I think that they are. I think Farmington does have all the pieces to get in there and make some noise and challenge for that state championship. The crazy part is a lot of their guys are coming back. So if it's not this year, it could even be next year for them. And I've talked to their coach about that before, and it's going to be fun to watch. You mentioned that region, Davis, the last couple of years have been really great teams as well. But I think the X factor in this one is Corner Canyon. To be honest with you, it's not necessarily Farmington. It's which Corner Canyon are you going to get?
And I'll tell you, another one is Skyridge. I mean, that one lost to Olympus, but we know how talented they are, how much talent they brought back from last year. Now, you learn nothing is given, right? And they're having to battle, but that Skyridge team is really good as well. 6A, man, I feel like there's so much parity at the top. This is going to be a really, really fun playoff, but there's a lot of games between now and then. And just a reminder, we'll have live game streams for you every week here on KSL Sports as we take you all the way to state championships. Thank you so much for joining us on our 6A Girls and Boys Lacrosse RPI recap video. Reminder, you can go check out the RPI every week on uhsa.org. And of course, we've got our live game streams and other content coming out. We'll have same videos for 5A and 4A this week on KSL Sports Rewind. For Vince Francis, Tim Haslam, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us on the 6A RPI discussion video on KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Tribal West Lacrosse and Tab Bank.